The alarm pierced through the darkness at 5 a.m., and Emma's hand instinctively reached for the snooze button, just as it had for the past 5 years. But today was different. The words of her mentor still echoed in her mind from yesterday's conversation. Your future self is watching you right now, hoping you'll make the right choice. For the first time in years, Emma sat up. The apartment was quiet, dark, and somehow more peaceful than she'd ever noticed. Her phone screen glowed with its usual bombardment of notifications, but instead of reaching for it, she took a deep breath. The air felt different at this hour, crisp, full of possibility. She thought back to where it all started. 3 failed businesses, a mountain of debt, and that soul-crushing moment when she overheard her parents telling relatives she was still figuring things out at 32. The weight of disappointment had become her constant companion. But yesterday's breaking point had also been her breakthrough. Standing in line at her dead-end job, she'd watched a successful entrepreneur she followed online talk about how everything changed when she started taking control of her mornings. Your morning routine is the foundation of your empire, she'd said. Those words had hit Emma like a thunderbolt. Now, in the pre-dawn silence of her apartment, Emma walked to her bathroom mirror. The face that stared back was tired but determined. She grabbed the sticky notes she'd prepared last night and began placing them around her mirror. 5, soul, 5, 15, gratitude journaling. 5, 15, 5, 45, visualization and meditation. 5, 45, 6, 30, exercise. 6 to 30, that's 7, and planning and goal setting. Her hands trembled slightly as she wrote in her journal. Day 1 of my new life. I choose growth, I choose purpose, I choose me. The words felt both foreign and familiar, like a truth she'd always known but had been too afraid to acknowledge. The first week was brutal. Her body fought against the early wake-ups, and her mind conjured countless excuses. But Emma had made a pact with herself. No more negotiating with mediocrity. She started small, 5 minutes of meditation, a short walk, 3 gratitude entries. Each small win built upon the last. By week 2, something shifted. The morning darkness became less of an enemy and more of a cocoon, a sacred space where she could shape her dreams before the world woke up to impose its demands. She started noticing subtle changes, clearer thinking, better decisions, more energy. Week 3 brought its challenges. A late-night emergency at work tested her resolve. Her friends questioned her new, boring lifestyle. But Emma had discovered something powerful. The person you become in those early morning hours ripples through every aspect of your life. 1 month in, Emma stood in front of the same mirror, but the reflection had changed. Her eyes held a quiet confidence. The sticky notes had evolved into a wall of achievements and new goals. Her journal was filled with breakthroughs and insights. That morning, she received an email that made her hands shake. An investor was interested in her side project, the one she'd been working on during her newfound morning hours. But the biggest change wasn't in her circumstances, it was in her spirit. She no longer needed external validation to know she was on the right path. Looking back, Emma realized that success wasn't about making one dramatic change. It was about showing up for yourself, day after day, especially when it's hardest. It was about treating each sunrise as a new chance to rewrite your story. As she closed her journal that morning, Emma smiled, knowing that somewhere out there, another person was facing their own 5 a.m. moment. She hoped they would make the choice she did, the choice to begin. The sun was rising now, painting the sky in strokes of pink and gold. Emma was ready to face whatever the day would bring, knowing that she'd already won her most important battle, the battle with her former self. And somewhere in the city, an alarm clock was ringing, waiting for someone else to make their choice. If you like the story, like and subscribe for more. Comment down below.